strength and endurance. Balance and rhythm. Timing and control.
Sukawa is fourth, and then just behind Sukawa comes Rheingold, Roberto, then Charling, then Yaroslav, Paper Cap.
And speed. Speed and more speed. At Aviemore in Scotland's beautiful Spey Valley, a Highland gathering of champions. A sporting event that raises the old question, where does achievement end? Records broken, speeds excelled, endurance pushed beyond credibility. It happens almost every day. Is there a limit? Will the day come when man will be able to run no faster, jump no higher, when the last record will be written for the last time? Who knows? All we lesser mortals can do is sit back and marvel at the deeds of the champions. Those cool, calculating experts who make it all look so easy. In the British Alpine Skiing Championships, the best in the world have come to compete. And as skiing is a gentlemanly sport, it's ladies first. What is she thinking? This is the slalom, and it isn't easy. Slalom comes from the Norwegian word slalom, meaning slalom. You might say it's the longest distance between 2 points. Although this sort of thing has been going on in the snow countries for quite a long time, skiing as a sport is comparatively new. Skiing should be pronounced sheeing, but this led to some unhappy misunderstandings, especially among the French. The French aren't bad at it, skiing that is. Here's Odile Chalvin, but names don't matter, she's the best, this year at any rate. And now for the men. Because men are stronger and tougher, skiing is easier, like falling off a log. Definitely dominoes for them next year. In the slalom, you concentrate, you establish a rhythm, you balance on a breath. And when one of them goes, you go with it. Watch what results from a fractional loss of rhythm, so small you can hardly see it happen. The standard's high and the pace is hotting up. If skiing had been a big sport in Tchaikovsky's day, he'd probably have written a ballet for it. Sheesh, what a waste of good post. France, Switzerland, Germany, Austria, the best in Europe, are throwing themselves into the battle. Competition is reaching a climax. Here come the big guns. Number 9, Bernard Orcel of France. Ready, Timing is crucial. In this class, it's the fraction of a tenth of a half second that counts. And it looks like France again, number 8, Alain Pins. He senses it, the crowd knows it, and the scoreboard confirms it.
And the British Open and Scottish slalom champion, Alain
Of course,
Pins.
there's got to be a loser. The worst of being a loser in skiing, everybody knows about it for months. He really ought to take up something less strenuous, like rowing. At rowing's headquarters, Henley, you've really got to know your subject. Few spectators do, of course. As one old lady remarked, what a terrible waste it all was. 8 strong men taking one little boy for a row. To be a rower, prodigious things are expected of you. For one thing, you must carry your boat to work. Fortunately, everybody pitches in. And though they don't look it, racing shells are heavy. So are the oars. Here at Henley Regatta, they've been messing about in boats in a serious sort of way since 1839. And everybody, whether or not they know anything about boats, are invited along. To make up for the fact that nobody gets killed or injured, the spectators are given all the strawberries and cream they can handle. They're even allowed to cheer, if they're decently quiet about it. Some were here long before 1839. The cox's job is to insult the rowers. He's universally hated. He probably hates himself. To many, the great charm about rowing is its studied, methodical deliberation. Not enough the back-breaking labor of it all, there's the planning, the coaching, the allowing for wind and tide, the close teamwork, the metronome rhythm in the race itself.
Steady. Steady. Steady, crew. Steady, crew.
And in rowing, too, records are there to be broken. They've got a hope. Here's that cox again. In some events, the crew is allowed to throw the cox into the water at the end of the race. But as they have to let him climb out again, some feel it's not worth it. At the back, or to use the proper nautical phrase, the sharp end opposite the other sharp end, sits the stroke oar. He's the trendsetter. Everybody watches stroke. He is, you might say, the first violin. Here come the 8s. The 8s are the battleships of rowing. Down the scale, there are the 4s and friend. The cox and 4s aim for the Britannia Challenge Trophy. That's for muscle men from the United Kingdom and Ireland. But the oldest trophies at Henley are the Grand Challenge Cup and the Town Challenge Cup. At the first regatta in 1839, there were 4 entries for the Challenge Cup, 3 crews from Oxford and 1 rather impudent entry from Trinity College, Cambridge. The others needn't have bothered. The Cambridge 8 won hands down. They've been a bit hard to get along with ever since. A strong 8 is a majestic sight. But can you imagine a strong 12? Well, a 12-oared boat was once a common sight at Henley. It never failed to cause panic among the heavy drinkers. This anxiety complex on wheels is a coach. In spite of the international rivalry, the Challenge Cups and the Diamond Sculls, and the striving for outlandish records, there's something curiously quaint about Henley. as though Heath Robinson has a hand in it somewhere. It's all lazy and casual and summary. Maybe that's how sport should be. Serious, but not too serious to enjoy. A few miles away from Henley, it's quite different. There's a sport there that threatens to become the new established religion. Epsom and Derby Day. Before the day was out, some of this expensive horseflesh was to make strong men weep. Epsom is very much a royal occasion. Her Majesty the Queen, Princess Anne and the Duke of Edinburgh, the Queen Mother, and the workers. Before the race, they're known affectionately as the 3 o'clock shift. After the race, they're called a variety of things. No doubt remembering another derby long, long ago, Sir Gordon Richards. You haven't got to look at the horses. Lester Piggott is champion jockey. When you're champion jockey, you get the best. That mountain of money he's sitting on is Roberto, the favourite. As a punter, for the past 10 minutes, you've seriously studied the bloodstock, considered form, looked for signs of mumps or cholera in the jockeys, and you're ready to take the plunge. 50 pence or even £1, you don't care. This is called Epsom madness. It's the Duke of Norfolk's retirement year as the Queen's representative.
Life card, 80 shillings for 25.06. Life card, 40 shillings for 10. 10 shillings for 5 a place. 5
Palladium taking a bow.
10
Charling number 2 and 3 Donello. The derby is worth nearly £70,000 to the winner. How much is that in oats? Number 14, Our Mirage. Steel Pulse. Omindo number 13 and Gombos. Looking for a bookie, perhaps? Some like the idea of running in the derby, others don't. That's Donello being tiresome. And this is how the derby, part 1, looks to a horse. Alec Marsh has started 99 classics. This will be his ton. Roberto's done it all before.
understand what it is. Lisa on the outside was quickly away together with Sukawa, Meadowmint and Pentland Firth. And on settling down towards the end of the first furlong, the leaders are Pentland Firth, Sukawa, on the inside Ormindo and Roberto. Then just behind the leaders, Scottish Rifle, Steel Pulse, Charling, then Yaroslav, and on the outside Palladium together with Mercia Boy. Going up the hill towards the end of the first quarter.
Number 17, Pentland Firth with Pat Edery in the lead. Number 8, Meadow Mint, Willie Carson up, handily close behind. Derby horses may be slow or fast, but one thing they have in common. They're expensive. This thundering bunch of hay burners is worth hundreds of thousands of pounds. A good jockey must have a keen sense of timing. He must keep cool and calm, and always keep his pecker up.
Then Mercia Boy, behind Mercia Boy comes Roberto, then Ormindo, Steel Pulse, behind Steel Pulse, Yaroslav and Rheingold. Runners now are coming down the hill towards Tapton Corner, and Penton Firth in the lead by a length from Meadow Mint. Then Roberto is third, Ormindo is fourth, Paper Cap is improving, Leadbard has raced very wide indeed.
Looks like 3 in it. Penton Firth, Roberto and Rheingold. Watch for that lurch by Roberto.
Gombos and Ormindo together with Charling. They've got just over 2 furlongs to race, and it's Penton Firth from Steel Pulse and Roberto who are coming to join him. Steel Pulse coming up on the outside with Roberto. They're racing for the final furlong, and it's now Rheingold and Roberto together from Penton Firth, and approaching the line, and it's Roberto Rheingold.
It's a photo, though Roberto seems to have it won. Because of that episode in the straight, there's to be an inquiry. So Leicester is off to have a chat with the stewards, and the stewards to have a chat with Leicester. The inquiry is kind to Roberto. He's declared the winner. This has been an exciting derby. Derbies usually are. The owner collects his trophy, and Roberto basks in the admiration for a few brief moments. But let's turn now to a rather special kind of horsepower. The kind that feeds on high-octane oats. Why is it that different sports attract widely different types? And there's little doubt that car racing people are a breed apart. This is the British Grand Prix at Brands Hatch. As usual, all is organised confusion. But who drives whom? Which is the star, the driver or the car? This sleek little bullet is the John Player special of Emerson Fittipaldi. No, Grandma, that's not an oil drum. It's international, of course. 12 nations are competing because this is a qualifying round of the Formula One World Championships. All the big names are at Brands Hatch today. Cheese, Graham Hill, an advanced motorist, Jackie Ickx and his Ferrari. Time to take positions. Do you get the feeling there's more excitement before the race? Tim Schenken, an Australian. Some sort of order now on the starting grid. Champion Jackie Stewart knows how to relax. 5 minutes to go. Jackie Ickx. From Austria, Carlos Reutemann, Brabham Ford. Number 3, Ronnie Peterson of Sweden. Francois Sever, France. the man who brought the World Championship to Brazil, Emerson Fittipaldi. It won't be long now. The excitement has caught the crowd. Any second. Round the first bend with their tails up. Those aerofoils might look awkward and incongruous, but they're worth their weight in gold on corners. I wonder, could they fit them on racehorses? Settling down now and the race beginning to take shape. Jackie X, number 5, taking Druid. Now the bottom bend. Kidney bend. Graham Hill in a Brabham Ford. Number 1, Jackie Stewart. After 31 laps, this is the order. X, Stewart, Emerson Fittipaldi, Revson, Schenken, and in 6th spot, Francois Sever. X holding off Stewart. Pit stops for some. Here's Graham Hill coming in from the cold. And a wheel change for Carlos Paci of Brazil. Pit crews are the unsung geniuses. Nobody stays long. Nemo from head office. And problems for Carlos Reutemann, number 27. Graham Hill, number 26, is back in the neighborhood and going well. Well, hush my mouth. No time for sympathy. There's a race on. Coming into bottom bend, Francois Sever. What they need around here is a lollipop lady. And while Hill and Sever go off to thumb a lift, things are happening up front. Fittipaldi is pressing Jackie X. Coming into the scene, Austria's Niki Lauda in form. The Australian Dave Walker in 19. Fittipaldi takes the lead. Jackie Stewart's right behind him. The Swede Peterson, number 3, and Peterson's in trouble. Now that's what I call a rotten bit of fun. When you've left the party, nobody stops to say goodbye. Number 8, Fittipaldi, is still pacing Jackie Stewart in number 1. At the kidney bend, no change in the order. And the Brazilian, Emerson Fittipaldi, gets the checkered flag. Understandably pleased, man and his car do the lap of honour that's expected of them. Formal congratulations from manager Colin Chapman. Everybody makes a fuss. It's marvellous being the winner. Not only do you receive a beautiful trophy, they give you champagne to spray the crowd with. It's an old Brazilian custom. No records were broken this time, but it was fun while it lasted. Of course, the best thing of all about being a champion, nobody, absolutely nobody, can take it away from you. So, what's holding you? Are you ready? Go!